This is going to be an overview of Act 1 of my negative 100%.
And I'm already bored.
Which is some other. We got the entire footage of Act 1 in the description below, for like verification's sake. And wait, what the fuck are you doing? No, what the fuck?
In the final map, I fight for Mortis with only Erica with 0% growth, 0 weapons, 0 movement, and 0 limbs. For Mortis proceeds to obliterate my Erica, but with the power of DLC, a 250 kilograms gold bar fell from the sky and knocked Mortis out instantly. After he woke up, we kissed.
So I will go over some stuff in Gaiden right now, just to provide context to those who don't know the game that much. And for those who know the game too much, there's a timestamp of when I start talking about the map, because we both know that too much Gaiden exposure can lead to brain damage. So normally when you hit an enemy and you don't kill, you get like a little bit of EXP. But in Gaiden, not only do you get some EXP, but you also get group EXP. Now group EXP is EXP that everyone on the map gets once the battle is over, which is really fun for a run where you don't want to level up.
Congratulations, please do not resist.
But actually, you do kind of want to level up in this game, because the thing is that promotions are a lot sooner in this game. And when you promote, all your stats go up to the base stats of the class that you're going to promote into. So no matter how much you lose, you're typically going to be like around the same as a normal unit promoting into that class. At the start of the game, you get 3 villagers, and villagers are basically the training units. They're really shit until they promote, but at least they promote at level 3. And you get 2 villagers that are below level 3, so you will see me trying to feed kills with them early on, regardless of them losing stats as they get to level 3, since those stats will just become the class bases of the class they're going to promote it to. There's a bunch of other stuff to bring up about Gaiden, but I'll just bring it up when it becomes relevant, because this is not a college Zoom lecture. I do not want to be charged with manslaughter for killing a bunch of people from boredom. So I'll go over the starting party really quickly, and hopefully my extremely in-depth and relevant analysis of the units will make Mecha invite me over when he does the Gaiden tier list review, and then I can make a reaction video reacting to the tier list review with me in it, and then add Mecha into the title for more views. So you got the Lord, good bases at the start, and will only get worse with each level up, and he promotes at Act 4, so he'll be shit for most of the game, and the best part is that when he promotes, he goes from shit to never being touched due to a very fun section at the end of the game. So basically, a 10 out of 10 unit.
And it easily earns the bad!
So Lucas is a soldier with also pretty good bases. The idea is basically you want to use Alm and Lucas early game to help feed your villagers. But the thing is, unlike Alm, he's actually going to be useful later on in the game, because his promotion gains are really fucking good. So as I said, you get 3 villagers, and Gray's level 5, so he can already promote, so you may think that it doesn't really matter what I do with him, since even if he levels up, he'll just get his stats back. But the thing is that he has 9 strength, and that will carry over to some classes that don't have 9 strength. I kind of want to keep it for the class that he will promote into, so I mean, he's going to chip, but I don't want him to level up. So Tobin's a level 2 villager. The main thing about him in the base game was that he had a high skill growth, and technically his skill growth is higher in this run, but the other main thing was that he had a base speed of 6, which is great for some classes that don't have it. But it doesn't really matter this much in this run, since he'll just lose all its speed. It's still good for him to be able to double brigands, unlike the next villager. So Cliff is level 1, and he only has 2 speed. It doesn't matter too much in the base game, since the speed growth is 50%, but now it's negative 100%. So he gets doubled by brigands after leveling up 1 time. So yeah, training him is going to be really fun. There's one really nice thing about Cliff though, which is his base 8 res, which is really high for this game. And the best part is that res does not have a growth in this game, so he will always have 8 res, which is really useful for later parts of the game. Okay, so I'm gonna fuck over the people who clicked on the timestamp first, so since you guys watched all of this crap, you're welcome. So for the first map, there are 5 brigands. The strategy here is to kill them. I mean, like, what else am I supposed to say? It's just 5 brigands, like... It doesn't require a fucking master tactician to figure this shit out. I mean, I guess I can also bring up their AI. So whenever an enemy goes below 50% HP, and there's a way for the enemy to get healed, the enemy will just completely ignore you and try to rush for the healing station. So it's just really easy to bully them. So the next map, it's just more brigands. I mean, there's also an archer. I mean, why are the archers on screen? I can talk about them a bit. So archers were... So as we sit here and watch this very engaging and in-depth gameplay with these beautiful graphics, we can see Lucas proceed to not hit anything. And force skill is not very good, but terrain, that is a completely different story. These simple forest tiles, yeah, they get fucking dirty avoid. Hello, this is future A-boy here. Seems like I had made a mistake in terms of how much avoid you get from forest tiles. I'm here to clarify that you do not get dirty avoid from forest tiles. You get fucking 40! I don't know what the fuck they're smoking. Maybe like there was just hidden camera suits within these forest tiles to give him that much avoid. And those heal tiles were, you know, a place to rest where you sit and heal. Yeah, those give also fucking 40 avoid. This is truly great game design, since terrain forces you to play the game more due to missing so fucking much. And since I lose skill every level up, well, I'm just gonna keep on missing more. So I entered Thief Shrine and wow, I can't believe it. There are thieves here. Who'd have thought? So for dungeon fights, I'm basically gonna skip like almost all of them. Anything I say here doesn't really amount to much. So I pick up Soak the healer, and in this game, healing is based on your magic. So at some point, my Soak will just heal for 0 HP, so that's gonna be really fun when I get there. Now healing doesn't give you EXP in this game, so it may not sound like a big deal, but I need Soak to be level 7 for Warp, which is basically mandatory unless you're a psychopath. But the only way for Soak to get EXP is to either get hit 100 times, which is something I'm not gonna do, or kill enemies with the Nosferatu spell, a very reliable 50 hit and 0 might spell, which will only get weaker and make my training of Soak more painful. So here's the statue. This is where you promote units when they reach their promotion level. Villagers can promote into multiple classes, but the statue picks one at random, so you have to keep rejecting the statue till you get the class you want. So you want a mercenary due to how good the class bases in the mercenary line are, which can carry for the entire game, and a mage for the next map, and just for good shit for the early game. Gray goes mage so that he can do 1 extra damage compared to a regular mage, and maybe at some point he'll get arrow at level 9. But Cliff goes mercenary due to his 8 res, making him very useful against wizards later on in the game, with a weapon I'll pick up soon. So for Tobin, normally you would just make like another merc, but I made him an archer. So archers in this game have 1 to 3 range and get 1 to 5 range when they equip a bow. That sounds good on paper, but the problem is that the bow only has base 70 hit in this game, and my Tobin has 1 skill, so 71 hit is pretty shit, and this is 1 RN. Like if we were talking about like 2 RN, like that would be like 61 to 62 hit on everyone, and we're also assuming 0 avoid on the enemies.
This game's terrible. I hate it. I really do. It's garbage. I got the drop on the guy.
The base stats of the later classes are not really that impressive either. Like he gets like 8 skill and speed max ever, and he'll just miss a lot, and he'll soon miss after only being able to shoot 1 time. But they do get good at some point. The Holy Bow really helps fix the problem with the 100 hit, and you get that bow in, alright, fucking Act 4. It's not like archers are even important. You get an archer anyways, like later on in Act 1. It's like, why would I do this and not get another merc? I just want diversity, I guess. And I'm just too stubborn to change my ways. Like, there are going to be things where most Gaiden players would wonder, why would you do this? And my answer is simply, I just wanted to, and I'm too fucking stubborn, and it's just going to make the experience more dreadful for me. So there are 2 line heads here. They give free stat boost, but the thing is that you can only choose between the 2 a certain amount of times. So I'm trying to guess which one I picked. To the next map, more brigands and an archer. Truly, this is one of the enemy diversity of old time. But here, we get to see all the new promotions come to play. Gray does 11 damage with Chip, Cliff tanks and doubles these brigands, and Tobin proceeds to not hit anything.
Oh, God, learn how to fucking shoot a gun, you
fucking riot shield. What else am I fucking
riot shield! I'm a pussy that use riot shield!
They can't really kill for shit on their own, but it's fine since they're chipping down the enemies enough for Silk to get some kills if she hits. So yeah, there's really nothing else important to note for this map.
Demonic presence threat level 5 entering main laboratory.
Fire! Fireball!
Okay, then I'll pay win then. Fuck it. I'm gonna buy. Okay, then I'll put the gate in.
So finally, we reach a map where we don't fight brigands. We instead fight soldiers, which are basically brigands, but they suck less. There's also an archer here, and this archer is really fucking annoying because this archer has +3 attack and 1 range thanks to the steel bow. But with Gray's 9 attack, he's able to 2-shot the archer with fire, and the archer going to the healing tile doesn't matter because magic avoids terrain bonuses in this game. Like, thank God for that. We also get the steel bow for Tobin, which also has 70 hits, so he still can't hit for shit. And now it's just a simple process of baiting the enemies 1 by 1 and feeding them to Soak. So in the fort, I get Claire, she sucks ass. And I get the Bolt Sword. Now, the Bolt Sword always does 15 magic damage, and most enemies in this game don't have res. So yeah, it's pretty good in this game. And Cliff can run on basically anyone at this point in the game, even with the -3 weight penalty.
Your mom? Me when your mom?
So the next map consists of soldiers, archers, and cavaliers. Cavaliers are basically soldiers, but they have more movement, and some of their stats are a bit better. To most people, this may seem like a really stupid analysis, but they're really fucking bad in this game, so I think it's accurate enough. The Cliff basically murders anyone that comes up to him, unless he misses. And Lucas actually needs the letter shield here due to being so frail at this point and getting doubled by soldiers. He's basically dead weight, but he still needs the EXP for his promotion. I wipe out most of the enemies till there's only 1 left, and So can get that kill, once she hits, because even though magic avoids terrain penalties, Nosferatu still only has fucking 50 hit. So the next map is just a bunch of cavaliers. and during an attempt, I tried healing with soak and it crashed the game. So I edited the game myself, and I'm not like a master hacker or anything, so honestly, like, I kind of expected this to happen. Also, sometimes when I move a unit, for some reason, it won't let me like end my turn, and the only way to get out of this is by tabbing out of the game. I don't know why. You may be thinking, wow, this game is basically unplayable at this point. You should stop. But I continue on with the simple solution of having to spam save states in case the game randomly crashes again, which, you know, will happen more throughout the game. I was gonna use save states later on anyways to prevent like map reinforcements from spawning from Act 3 onwards, so using them earlier is like whatever, honestly, since all the successful attempts will be done in one go. I bolstered the initial cavaliers and then chipped the others to death. So when I entered the Deliverance HQ and I was fighting these zombies, still crashed the game again, but this time I could just go back since I made a save state before this happened, so that's nice. Unfortunately, not every situation would be as convenient as this. So I get this guy, he kind of reminds me of this loser named Clive, who is just really awful, and I really hate and despise him. But unlike Clive, this guy looks pretty useful. So his stats are almost those of his promotion stats, and he's only one level away from promoting, which means he will stay pretty strong for a while. He can do good damage with the Seer Lance, and fortunately leave Cavaliers at low HP for other units to kill. Paladin bases are pretty good in this game, and so are Gold Knight bases. Koopas! So he can stay pretty good throughout the game, you know, unlike Tobin. And then I also get Foresight, who's basically another Lucas in this run. Having two soldiers can be nice so that when one gets weaker, I can just use the other, and Foresight is much easier to train to promotion than Lucas, so that's kind of nice. So I also get Python. He's an archer like Tobin, and like Tobin, he also cannot hit for shit. So now I got two shitty archers in my team, exactly what I wanted. Also there are some fountains here that, you know, can give me stats and all. Like, that's cool, I guess. So I'm trying to not like excessively grind, but I decided to just redo like one skirmish in order to get Lucas to level 7. So now he can promote into a knight. And as a knight, he basically takes 1 damage from everyone, including the boss in the next map. So in the final map of Act 1, there's some archers that need to be killed, and like without warp, you can only use like archers and player to attack from where I'm standing right now. And they will suck ass. They always get 10 avoid from standing on the floor. So yeah, that's really fun. So my plan was to bait with Tobin and chip to the point where Python can come in and only need 1 hit from the steel bow to kill. But unfortunately, my Tobin is so ass, and my silk kills for basically nothing due to all the level ups they got, that I ran out of healing by the time I killed 1 archer. So Python had to handle the other 2 archers and just, you know, hopefully hit. So he got slayed here with his massive army of level 1 cavaliers, and he's supposed to be this huge threat that, you know, is really fucking strong. But the thing is, you can just like bait him and his group 1 by 1 and just kill him like that. He's really not that worth. So the top side has a wizard. Wizards are basically mages, but like, they're evil, I guess. They're really not much different from regular mage except the spells they use. And the miasma is basically just the fire stats, which means that he only has 1 attack speed. I also got stuck in this annoying position where I want to attack these archers, but there's a knight in the way. So I was like, oh, just use Grey. But these archers double Grey, so that's pretty fucking bad. And like, oh, just use Cliff. But Cliff doesn't 2-shot, so when the knight gets hit a second time, he just runs away. And now the archers are blocking my way, so yeah, that's great. So finally, I'm about to kill the stupid knight. And then this happened. Apparently, when you take too long on the map, you're forced to retreat. Retreat is a feature that you can use after turn 3, where you can just leave and just come back and all the enemies you killed will stay dead. It's really cheap to abuse, so I didn't plan on retreating at all because that's lame. But I'm not replaying this fucking map again, so I'm just gonna wipe out the 1 knight and 2 soldiers I forgot about. So before ending the act, I grinded Cliff and my cavalier to promotion for Act 3. I don't need the others to promote right now since, for example, getting a sniper is more important for a map later on in Act 3, and I don't need 2 knights right now, and I can have Professional Knight later on instead. And also due to group EXP, the more I grind, the more the good units are affected. So in the castle, I get the Rider's Bane, which is going to be pretty useful for Act 3 and help Foresight get to promotions. Yeah, that's about it. I ended the chapter. So that's the end of Act 1. Act 2 will probably come out in like a month or 2, which is long to some people, but it's a lot faster than Karma's upload schedule of her Shadows of Lentia 0% LTC. I kind of expect this video to not do well because of how niche the topic is, but like I had fun making the video, so it's kind of like whatever. But it would be nice if it at least got more views than the video saying I'm gonna do the run, you know? I mean, I feel like that kind of makes sense. So make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, give me your credit card information, give me your house address, just give me your family, in fact, you know, why not, you know? People in Fire Emblem do that stuff. It will be a Fire Emblem reference, trust me.